Hey everybody, it's Jason here from iRecover Treatment Centers, and we are here at iRecover Newfoundland with participant. And why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Maddie.
Hey Maddie, how's it going?
Good.
Good. And so Maddie, you're graduating tomorrow.
I am.
Yeah, and how you feeling tonight?
Excited to graduate.
Yeah.
I got my slideshow ready to go.
Good. Can you talk a little bit about your life before you got to iRecover Treatment Centers? Talk about active addiction and how that was going for you.
So, before I got here in January, I was not living. I was constantly just looking to get high constantly. It was the only thing I cared about, the only thing I talked about. I didn't talk to anybody else, like my family, friends, and they didn't want anything to do with me. I was just really sick. And I was really sad.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see past, the day. I couldn't see my future anywhere. And then when I left in February, I relapsed almost immediately because I didn't want it. I had a couple of friends who passed away, and I knew I'd be on the verge of going back, completely back where I was in January. And I didn't want to go that low, so I came back here.
Yeah, decided to come back, right.
I was kind of like an on and off in between the time I was gone. So.
And when you say on and off, would you say like in the way of active addiction?
Yeah, so instead of every day, all day, like it was before January, it was every second day.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nursing a hangover and then back out again.
Yeah, trying to harm reduction, I guess. Idea. Right on. And you were saying, I guess it was pretty isolating. You're pretty lonely, pretty sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had started using just by myself. It wasn't even a social thing anymore. I was just sitting in my room using.
Just medicating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how has your stay been this time?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave. I want to stay.
Yeah.
But the CBT part, I think, really changed a lot for me.
Yeah. Could you talk to any points where you were sort of, I know for me, when I got into CBT, there was these moments when they were explaining things to me where kind of the lights were going, and I was like, oh my goodness.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I was really starting
That's
to understand.
That's why I did that.
Yeah. Can you maybe talk a little bit about one of those moments or something you can relay to some of the people that are out there struggling right now?
So for me, using drugs, and it went on for so long, was because I could just think about getting high. That's all I had to think about. I didn't have to think about everything else that had happened to me or where my life was going or what I was going to do. It was just one constant thing, and I didn't have to think about the bank calling me or, not showing up there. And so avoidance is my number one thing, really.
Yeah.
And so, I was like crippling myself by using so much, so I didn't have to think about everything else. And then doing CBT, it was like, oh yeah, don't avoid stuff, just do it and get it over with. And if you're in active addiction right now, you need to want it. That I can say 100%, because last time I was here, I was doing it for my parents, and that's a good reason, but it's not enough to keep you at it. It's not going to keep you sober.
Yeah, you need to
do it for yourself.
Yeah.
And I was so miserable here last time because I was sad and angry and just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Felt like I was being obligated to do it, and nobody wants to do something they don't have to do. So when I came out this time, I was trying to drive myself. I wanted to be here because I didn't want to be back where I was, right? Yeah. And it did really kind of just hit me, and I was like, yeah, fuck this.
Yeah. Can you talk about that moment maybe for some of the people at home right now that are suffering? Did you have a moment where I was like, okay, fuck this, I need to get help?
So I could see myself that I was sinking again I was gonna be using heavily within the next probably couple of days, that I was instead of every second day, it was going to be every day, all day. And I just couldn't go through that again. I don't think that I would have come back from it that time. I think that would have been the end for me. I would have ended up dead for sure.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't do that to myself again. Because the constant heaviness of having that addiction on you is just, it's too much.
Yeah, I had that fear myself where I would just, I got scared. I could see where things were going. I didn't know how to change it, but I knew I had to.
Yeah, and so last time I would have just kept using and been like, oh, whatever happens, happens. But this time where I had that little flicker of, it was like a planted seed and, right? So it was nice to see that. And then it was like, I do want something else out of life than just being known as an old junkie. So, and then where a couple of deaths had happened, and it was drugs that had led to it, and that was just like, enough is enough. I'm just done with it. I'm almost 28 years old.
Yeah.
I don't need to be at that anymore.
Yeah, it was time to make some changes, I guess. Yeah.
So, you don't have to rely on drugs. You can get help. And I never thought I would be sitting here saying this. Yeah. And if you knew me in January, you wouldn't believe me. But yeah, I feel so much better. Yeah, I feel excited about what's going to come in the future instead of being afraid of it.
That's so nice to hear, Maddie. Yeah, I think really the person sitting in front of us now and the person that was here, in January, are very different. I don't think you would have even engaged in this conversation. Really.
I'd be like,
yeah. I think I really appreciate it as an addict, and I'm sure there's people out there that are going to be watching this that, that you're going to touch as well and offer some hope to them, and that's really, why I'm trying to do this.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can't, if my parents hadn't dropped me off the first time, I wouldn't be here.
Yep.
So you do need help to get through it. You don't have to do it alone. So, it just takes one person to kick you in the ass and get you there, and then the rest is you.
Yeah. If it wasn't for my family, I wouldn't have made it here either. You know what I mean? And they always say you have to do this for yourself and everything, and I believe that wholeheartedly. Yeah. But I'm also a person that needs to be held. I need to be held accountable by other people, and that's why I've got more than one sponsor, and why I surround myself with positive people and share with them what's going on.
If you're around all the negativity and stuff, you're just going to become a gray cloud yourself. So.
Yeah, totally. So we talked a little bit about the people that are in active addiction. How about to the families of the people suffering or that are in active addiction? Do you have anything you might want to say to them?
I'm sorry that you have to deal with it. My poor parents.
Yeah.
They were a mess. They don't really know anybody that uses drugs, right? They weren't around it, so they didn't really know how to deal with it. And they went to the Al-Anon meetings.
Yeah.
I went to those, and they were just like, they're not doing anything. They're not fixing the problem. And I was like, Dad, you can't fix it. It doesn't work like that. And he just couldn't wrap his head around that. There's no instant fix, and he can't do anything to help me.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that was really hard for him to struggle with. The addict themselves has to do it. You can't do it for them.
Yeah, he couldn't save his daughter as much as he wanted to, no matter what he tried.
Yeah, and he just couldn't, he didn't agree with it. He was like, they're all just sitting around talking about it and not doing anything. And I was like, it's more of a group for you to relate to. There's no quick fix to it, but you just got to stick with them until they realize for themselves that they're worth it. And hopefully they will. They usually do.
Yeah, I guess you've kind of realized you're worth it, eh?
Yeah. And it feels good.
Yeah, you've got an excellent, energy coming off of you, and the clearness of your eyes and the way you're speaking and everything. It's clear that you can, you see, that there's another way out.
It's it's so nice. It's such a relief.
Yeah, that's cool. So, can you talk to me a little bit about maybe some short-term goals you have right now? Have you thought about any of those things or any plans?
Well, I am going to go home and change the house around.
Yep. Good
Because
idea.
I definitely don't want to sit in that same room, rearranged the same way, and just have trigger, trigger, trigger.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's going to happen, but I don't need it waking me up in the face when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely be doing that. Maybe switch rooms. You know, I plan to do a lot of stuff outside. Maybe cut some ties with people, which will be hard, but
Yeah.
at least for now, until I'm really stable.
That's probably a wise decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of had to window my friends down to about 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, I'd like to get a puppy. So we're on the list for a puppy.
Oh, cool.
So-
All right. That's a good idea.
You know, I think that'll keep me busy because I'm not working right now.
Okay.
So it'd be nice to have a little buddy. You know, we can
Yeah.
go hiking. And
Yeah, and something to do and gives you a bit of
exactly.
a schedule and a
Gives
pattern.
me a reason to get out of bed, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
what I need. It'd be
course.
good to have something that depends on me for once instead of me depending on everybody else.
Yeah, giving back, right? It's that's great. So, would you recommend the program to other addicts suffering right now?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I probably wouldn't have in January, but now I do.
Yeah, you've kind of seen.
I think it's not. If you're ready to make the change in yourself, 100%.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with coming to if you're on the fence.
Yep.
Because for me, I was on the fence. Maybe I was even below it
Yeah.
in January, but it planted the seed for me to get to where I am now. So, you know, it can't hurt you.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. So 100%, yes.
Yeah. I like that you say
Take the
that,
chance.
Maddie. Yeah. Take the chance on yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I know myself, I tried a lot of different things before I got to the program. You know, I always wanted the easier way out and tried all kinds of different things. But once I did get to the program, you know, things really started to change for me. Yeah. Did you try anything else before this? Were you involved in any other programs before I Recover?
I was in and out 3 times of the recovery center.
Okay, in St. John's?
Yeah. So I was in and out of detox.
And that was just the 7-day program, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last one I stayed for a day.
Yeah.
You can leave whenever you want, and
Yeah.
it's right in the middle of town.
Yeah, yeah.
And other than that, I had been in meetings, and I had tried going out to a cabin and doing it that way. But the first time I went, it stuck for 3 months, but I was still using, just not the hard way.
Yeah.
I guess I'll put.
Yeah.
But eventually it turned back into that, obviously. So, yeah, I needed something stronger, I guess.
Yeah, I think I just needed that time away from all those distractions. You know, and
More than just a week. Like a week is
yeah.
nothing.
No, yeah, I needed several weeks
Yeah.
to get a hold of myself and get to know myself. I didn't know myself, and I had to learn who I was.
And like once you come out after a week of detox, you're so emotional, and you're just gonna go back to using anyways because you just like, what are these feelings like?
Yeah, the things you hadn't felt in a long time.
Yeah, and it's scary. It's scary, right? So
Yeah,
of course you're gonna jump back into drugs.
Of course. So tomorrow is your completion ceremony.
My second graduation.
Yeah. And so I understand your family's coming out. Is that right?
My dad is coming.
Great. Awesome.
Which is a huge deal. Yeah, he wants to be here. He's super proud. So
Yeah.
that's exciting. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see him.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him as well. And just, it's, you know, I really want to thank you for sitting down with us and chatting with us and sharing some of your hope and inspiration with some of the people that are out there suffering or some of the family members that are suffering. And hopefully we can do this again soon and get some updates from you.
Perfect.
Yeah, cool.
Definitely.
Thanks, Maddie.
Thank you.